Send me a few pictures, and most sections seemed to be filled. It wasn't a sellout, but there was supposedly over 19,000 people in attendance. Of course, it's easier to draw a decent crowd when tickets are selling for $3 hours before the games.
Angel Reese tickets dropped to just $2. Fans want their money back after rough game tickets to see Angel Reese play just dropped to $2. Yep, that's actually cheaper than a hot dog at the gas station. And after last night's performance, some fans are wondering if they should have come with a refund. Her game was so off, even the referees were doing double takes. The crowd? Barely there, emptier than promises you've heard 100 times before. So, what went wrong? And why is the internet going after her like it's open season? Stay tuned, this story is getting more attention than a celebrity meltdown and honestly, her shooting last night. Let's just say the jokes are writing themselves.
WNBA, they're having troubles with tickets now because I think Caitlin Clark is out for what? How many weeks is she out? She's ruled out for the June 7th game. That's when she was supposed to meet up with Angel Reese again. And, Chicago Sky, and there's a massive drop in ticket sales. This is after the take foul that she had on Reese and ended with a shove, and she got a flagrant foul, and they gave Reese and the other chick a foul. And I don't know, I guess she has a left quad strain, and she's gonna miss
at least 4 games, is what they're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Only $3 for a pro basketball game? Angel Reese and the Sky struggle to draw fans just $3 to see a professional basketball game. That's right, $3. These days, you can't even get a vending machine sandwich for that kind of money. But somehow, it'll get you a seat to watch Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky play in a full-sized NBA arena. And now, I'm not saying it's a bad deal. Technically, it's even cheaper than some high school games. But if you gave me $3 and asked me to choose between Sky tickets or a gas station hot dog, I'd probably already be halfway through that mystery meat before you could say, rebound percentage.
For Angel Reese and selling tickets and people watching her play is a lie. It's been proven time and time again, and it's been once again proven in a very embarrassing fashion for Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, as Indiana travels to Chicago tonight at 8 o'clock start to take on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, and they're playing without Caitlin Clark. Apparently now Stephanie White will not be at the game. I'm not even doing a video on that. I see a whole bunch of stuff being on that. I couldn't care.
Big crowd at Sky game, but not for the reason you think. Here's the twist, 19,000 fans packed the arena. Nope, that's not a typo. Sounds like a win for the WNBA, right? A big moment for women's basketball? Well, not exactly. The crowd wasn't there to see the Chicago Sky. They came to watch the other team, the Indiana Fever. More specifically, they came for Caitlin Clark, the breakout star everyone's talking about. She's basically the face of the league right now, with every camera locked in on her like she's carrying the WNBA's entire spotlight, and maybe even its budget.
The price of tickets to get into this building have completely plummeted. It's hitting levels of Miami Marlins baseball games. And for those of you who don't know, I could get a ticket for a Miami Marlins baseball game to sit like row 3 for like $5. That's how bad it is for Miami Marlins.
Let's be honest, those weren't Sky fans, they were Caitlin Clark followers. Sure, 19,000 people filled the arena, but let's not pretend they were there for the Chicago Sky. That crowd was basically a traveling Caitlin Clark fan club, making a Midwest stop just to catch a glimpse of the league's biggest star, and even with all that, Chicago still had to slash ticket prices to levels we haven't seen since the days of Blockbuster rentals just to fill the seats. It's like throwing a party at your own house, but everyone shows up just to hang out with your more famous neighbor. And worse? You still had to pay them to come.
I'm really dead serious when I say this. I'm beating a lot of them, but I'm burying Angel Reese one-on-one. And I'm a big WNBA fan.
She's just big. She's not even good.
She's listed at 6'3". That means she's 6'1". I'm forcing her left, forcing her right. I don't know if she even knows what hand she is.
Shooting efficiency list. Unfortunately for Angel Reese, she's dead ass last. And I'm not kidding you in this list of players.
$3 Sky tickets? It's not just sad, it's a moment for the history books. Chicago Sky tickets are going for just $3. That's not just a bad look, it's historic. Someone might want to frame this moment and hang it in a museum so future generations understand how low things got. Honestly, at this point, the team might want to offer a free taco with every seat just to get people interested. You could take a whole family of 5 to the game for $15, and still have change left over for nachos and a few regrets, but the real spotlight? Angel Reese. We've all seen the hype, the confidence, the Bayou Barbie image, the $1 million endorsement deals, and her non-stop TikTok presence. But here's the real question. When does all that start to show up on the court? Because right now, it doesn't look like she even wants to be out there. Half the time she's just jogging around, like someone told her breaking a sweat was optional. Her body language says, "Can we wrap this up?" more than it says, "I'm here to compete." And every time someone calls it out, her fans rush in like she's made of glass, defending her with zodiac signs and Instagram quotes instead of actual game stats. At some point, we've got to stop treating valid criticism like a personal attack and start expecting more from a player with this much attention and potential.
Is your star? This is who the media claims is elevating the WNBA. This is who the media has spent the last year wasting time trying to convince us that Angel Reese is responsible for elevating the dump. The same Angel Reese that could not sell out home games when she was at LSU. The same Angel Reese that struggled to sell tickets last year with the Chicago Bravado. The same Angel Reese that could not give away free tickets to her immaculate homecoming a couple of weeks ago at LSU.
When tickets cost less than a cake pop, it's time for a wake-up call. Sure, there's a learning curve. But when your team's ticket prices drop below thrift store clearance levels, and folks would rather eat microwave gas station beef than watch your squad play, it might be time to take a long, honest look in the mirror. The basketball may come with shoe deals and social media fame, but it still takes real effort. Right now, Angel Reese is giving off serious, "I'm just here so I won't get fined" vibes. And every time she steps on the court, the internet turns into a digital battleground. One side crowns her the next face of the league. The other's already writing obituaries for her stat line. It's chaos. It's drama. It's basically reality TV in sneakers. Meanwhile, those cheap seats? They turn into empty reminders of missed potential and spilled popcorn. Let's call it what it is. If you're a young WNBA player and your home game tickets cost less than a Starbucks cake pop, you're officially in the danger zone. As in, emergency PR meeting, maybe fake an injury kind of danger zone, because no league, no matter how hungry for stars, is going to build a marketing campaign around a player if the only way to pack the arena is by giving fans pocket change prices and hoping the other team brings the buzz.
So Angel Reese came out and had a 12 rebound, 4-point, 2 assist game in the absence of Caitlin Clark tonight. Angel, they're not coming for you. They're coming to watch the prodigal son or daughter, Caitlin Clark. So as the Indiana Fever beat the Chicago Sky by 29 points without Caitlin Clark, I asked the EBT community, do y'all have eyes? Like, these two players have...
Angel Reese has a monster motor, and she'll gobble up double-doubles just off effort. But what I really like to see is her putting in work on her jumper, because Barbie getting buckets is going to be a real problem.
The league wants a rivalry, but only one side is showing up. The WNBA is trying hard to sell this Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark rivalry like it's Ali versus Frazier. But right now, it's feeling more like Frazier versus silence. Clark is out here making headlines, setting records, and drawing national attention. Reese? She's making news from the bench, and not for what she's doing on the court, but for updating her Instagram story while the game plays on. And this wasn't just any game. This was a home game. If you can't energize your own crowd when the league's most talked about player is standing right next to you, maybe it's time to rethink things, or pick up a new hobby. Motivational speaking, curling, take your pick. So yes, $3 to watch Angel Reese live is technically a deal. But until she starts playing like she actually wants to be there, that gas station hot dog might honestly be the smarter buy. At least it brings the heat, even if it gives you regrets later. Fans came expecting a show. What they got was 3/4 of a player stuck in buffering mode, the basketball version of a loading screen.
Angel Reese needs to be better at basketball. I'm not talking about as a person. I'm not talking about as a podcaster. I'm not talking about at the Met Gala. She needs to be a better player if we want this rivalry to be able to have some staying power. She had a very, very busy offseason, but at this moment, it does not seem like the offseason involved a lot of Mikan drills of left-handed layups. Right now, Angel Reese, she is a wildly famous rebounder. Somebody had the funniest tweet on this. The Caitlin Clark Angel Reese rivalry is like if Kobe had a rivalry with
social media impressions do not equate to television ratings, and they damn sure don't translate to ticket sales. The media can continue framing this narrative that Angel Reese is driving the WNBA's growth, but once again, we have data that proves Angel Reese is not a draw.
$3 got fans buyer's remorse, and Angel Reese barely showed up. Let's be honest, no one was asking Angel Reese to drop 40 points. All fans wanted was something worth the price of admission. And when that admission costs less than a bottle of Gatorade at the concession stand, expectations aren't exactly sky high, but 4 points and a walk-off glare. That's not what fans came for. Instead, they watched what felt like the human version of a buffering wheel. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, steady, sharp, and Iowa tough, put on a clinic. In just 5 minutes, she delivered more highlights than Angel did all game. She was hitting deep threes, threading passes through tight spaces, and making the scoreboard light up like an arcade game stuck in cheat mode. Angel? She looked lost out there, like she needed GPS just to find the paint. And here's the real kicker, those $3 tickets? People didn't even buy them to see Reese. They were there for Caitlin Clark. Reese was supposed to be part of the show, the co-star in this much-hyped rivalry. But she played like a background extra in her own feature, and the crowd noticed. You could feel the sarcasm in the air. Wow, $3 to watch Angel Reese stand around like she's waiting for an Uber. Some fans even joked they should have set their money on fire instead. It might have been more exciting and definitely a bit warmer than what Reese brought to the court.